Okay, this is page 83, 4.4. Essential question, how can you describe the graph of the equation y equals mx plus b? Okay, graph each equation, find the slope of each line, find the point where each line crosses the y-axis, complete the table. We're going to be doing this on a calculator today. So the equation y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. So I'm going to pull up the calculator, and I want you to put a fraction in as the slope, but I'm just going to put in negative 1/2 x plus 1, and then I'm going to hit graph. Notice this is a negative here, and we have a negative slope of the line. So the slope of the graph, if you remember, m is the slope. So our slope is going to be negative 1/2. So in this box here, you should put negative 1/2. Now the point of intersection with the y-axis, that means where does my line cross the y-axis? And if you remember, the y-axis goes up and down. And the easy way to do that is on your calculator, hit the trace button, which is right here. Okay, when x is 0, y equals 1. So it crosses the y-axis at 1. So point of intersection with the y-axis, you're going to put a 1 right in this box. Okay? Now, next problem is y equals negative x plus 2. So negative x plus 2. Now we're going to graph. Okay? Now, notice it's a negative slope. The line goes down because we have a negative. So we should expect that. Now, what is the slope of the graph? This doesn't have a number in front of x. So does that mean it doesn't have a slope or it doesn't have an m? No, that's not what it means. It means that this is really negative 1x. So the slope of the graph right here, you should write the number negative 1. And that's very important that you understand that when it's x or negative x, that's 1 or negative 1. So that doesn't mean that there's no m. There is a slope. You can see the line is sloping down. So right here, the slope of the graph is negative 1. Now, point of intersection with the y-axis, we're going to hit trace. And we're going to see that when x is 0, y equals 2. So in here, you're going to put a 2. Okay? Try the next one. Where's my delete? There it is. I'm going to delete this, and then we need negative x minus 2. Negative x minus 2. And graph. And once again, we see it's a negative slope of negative 1, just like the one above it. So the slope is negative 1. And the point of intersection with the y-axis. And hopefully you'll start to notice a pattern. And that's kind of the whole point of this activity, is to analyze the graphs and to realize that this b, the mx plus b, is also the same as the y-intercept. So we're going to start to be able to predict what this number is going to be without actually having to graph it. So when I trace it, what do you think the number is going to be? You can pause it and take a guess, or you can just keep letting it play. When I trace it, when x is 0, y is equal to negative 2, and we have a minus 2 out here. So the point of intersection with the y-axis is negative 2. Okay, now I need to scroll this down for just a second to pull up some other ones. Okay, and then get my calculator back up. I'm not going to do all of these because they're very similar. I'm going to skip all the way down to the last one because we have a slope of 3. So delete this out, and we're going to put in the equation 3x plus 2. 3x plus 2. We're going to graph it, and we notice that this is positive because there's no negative sign, so the line is going up, so that's predictable. And this is the slope of the graph. What is the slope of the graph? Well, it rises 3 and goes over 1. So remember, m, the number before the x, is the slope. So you can write in this box here, you should write a 3 over 1, or just a 3. And then what do you think is going to go here? Where does the line cross the y-axis? That's what the b represents in our equation. Okay, we find that on the calculator by hitting trace, and we see that it's 2. Okay, and this is plus 2. So this number that's hanging out here tells us our b. Okay, so in this box here, we're going to put a 2. So what I'd like you to do is the ones that we didn't do, that would be D, E, F, G, and H. I want you to use the number here, goes here. So for H, it would be negative 1/2. and the number out here goes here. So I want you to complete the table on your own based on what you've learned.